Heard of duck flower? Gate 86 love. Yes, I've heard of duck flower. Duck flower is indigenous to the Caribbean, so you can find it in places like Honduras. I did spend some time at Dr. Sebi's Usha village in Honduras, and they have the duck flower there, but it's seasonal. So when I was there, it was in season. Duck flower is a purging flower. So you literally eat the flower, and it is just purging out of you. For some people, it's very intense and very vicious. So I don't recommend it for everybody. But I am familiar with it. It just purges you. So yeah. The moon god, how's it going? Peace and blessings. Journey for praise, peace and blessings to you. Eccentric Sid say you should hold a seminar in the NYC. Absolutely. So last year I was in New York City 3-4 times. So I had 3 or 4 events in New York City last year. So, once everything clears up, I'll be sort of making that schedule again. Question, if you don't mind, does Aris sea moss really work? By the way, I've done your detox. Love my results. Yes, it does. So thank you so much for doing the detox. Glad to hear you had amazing results. Yes, Aris sea moss works when you get the right kind of Aris sea moss. So yes, it's very effective. I just think it's really important. A lot of people, sometimes what happens is people get the type of sea moss that isn't very effective, and they're not getting actual Irish sea moss. All sea moss isn't Irish sea moss. They call it Irish sea moss because it grows off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so it has to grow off the coast of the Atlantic, and it was originally used a lot in the Caribbean and also in Ireland. Okay. And so that's why it's really important where you source your Irish sea moss, because then you can actually, feel and experience the full benefits. Sutton Kelly too says, peace and blessings from the Midwest. Peace and blessings to you as well. Dala Balono says, I'm about to order the detox. Thought about it long and hard. Good stuff, man. Good for you. And please keep me tagged along your journey as you go, too. No, I don't necessarily have a topic for today. It's been a minute since I been on here, so I took a little break, so I jumped in today. I'll probably have a topic tomorrow. I'm deciding if I want to talk about what I want to talk about tomorrow. So she says, fabric mask, yes or no, and why? I don't believe in like black and white. So if you're immune compromised, if you have, chronic illnesses, if you have a pre-existing respiratory infection, or you have, pre-existing respiratory conditions like asthma, emphysema, things of that nature, I would highly recommend you protect yourself in all ways, if you're going out in the public. If you live a healthy lifestyle, and I know that living a healthy lifestyle is very vague, because a lot of times I meet people and they go, oh, you must eat pretty healthy. And I'm like, yeah, I eat pretty healthy. And then they say, oh, me too. And I say, well, what did you have for lunch? And they're like, oh, I had tuna. I had, some rice, and I had, some sweet potato. And I'm like, that is not a healthy meal. So I know it's very relative, but the important thing to understand is, if you eat, if at least 80 to 90% of what you eat is plants, and if you spend time in the sun, if you stay hydrated, if you exercise, if you stay away from toxic foods, if you don't smoke and compromise your lungs, then, I think the best thing you could do is social distancing at that point, if you're concerned about it. So I don't necessarily have a yes or no answer to that, because again, like even with a fabric masks don't stick to your, like, let's say it's like cotton, like it doesn't stick to your face. So, you know, if there's a virus in the air and you walk by, when you breathe in, it's not only coming here, it's coming through the sides as well. So it does offer you a little bit of protection. I'm just saying that it does not offer you the 100% of protection that most people have. So there's no yes or no answer. Can we take the iron pills while doing the detox? Yes, you absolutely can. Brick07, what up? The Bruz. He says the detox from the Y Bruz is fire. Let me know how your detox is going, Q. Appreciate your support, man. No. Who you with says, so her question is, so there's no herbs that can ever become harmful to the organs if we consume them too much. Listen, you can consume too much water and it will be harmful to you. So that's absolutely not true. What I'm saying is there's certain herbs that are really just food. You understand? That's what I'm trying to help people understand. Like, let's say if I gave you some holy basil capsule or some, cilantro capsules, or, some papaya capsules, right? Let's say you had digestive issues and papaya has this enzyme in it called papain, right? And it helps your food digest, okay? That's food, okay? Then there's certain herbs that you take that it can become that is an issue. I'll give you a case in point. There's a lot of herbs I won't use, like St. John's wort. I'll never use St. John's wort. You understand? Because not only does St. John's wort, the overuse of it can cause problem, it interacts with a lot of other things too, because it goes through your liver, okay? What the question you were asking me, or someone was asking me about the actual herbal iron supplement, is if you get a 30-day supply, can you take it every day? Yes. So that's the question I was answering. Official Peach 928, peace and blessings to you. Infertility is a whole big issue, so I can't necessarily get into that. But psoriasis is an autoimmune condition. All autoimmune conditions start with a leaky gut. So heal the gut with any autoimmune condition. You start with the gut. If you can heal the gut, you can actually reduce a lot of the symptoms. So again, that's with psoriasis, that's with multiple sclerosis, that's with rheumatoid arthritis, that's with lupus, that's with Hashimoto's thyroid disorder. So again, you have to start with the gut when it comes to any autoimmune condition. Kimmy says, I'm going to be doing the detox for 30 days. Thanks to Tierra Goes Green. Do I have to eat the recipes, or can I make sure I stick to the list? You can just stick to the list. So I have a group detox, and today is the 16th. So the last day to sign up for the group detox is the 19th, April 19th. So 3 days away from today. So what she was asking was, she joined the 30-day group detox that'll be starting on May 6th. And it starts on May 6th, goes to about June 2nd, I think. During the group detox, what we'll be doing is you'll get a 30-day supply of the herbs that you see behind me here. So you'll get the Parasite Candida cleanse. You'll also get the Tummy Detox. Okay, so she'll get a 30-day supply of those. They'll also get a meal plan. They'll get recipes. They'll get exclusive access to the online support group, which I'll come in there bi-weekly and do educational sessions like this, and a host of other things. And so she's asking me, if you're in the 30-day group detox that starts on May 6th, do you have to stick to the meal plan or the recipes? No, you do not. I put the meal plan and the recipe in there for people who are like, I need a meal plan if I'm going to do this. I need recipes because I don't know how to make this food. I put that in there for them. But if you just want to stick to the food list that I give you in the 30-day group detox, then, you could just stick to the food list, make your own foods. You can even just eat fruit if you want to. So, good question, Kimmy. Amy with JP, how's it going? Dr. Favre says, your book is powerful. I'm new to eating vegan almost a month now. This virus has woke me up. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with TNBC. Chemo messed me up. And my heart time to do better. Sorry, so lengthy. Oh, it's okay. Cool. Yeah, it's a great start, man, because a lot of people who get any kind of cancer end up going to the doctor, they get the diagnosis. And I've heard people ask this question, like, okay, I know you want me to do chemo, I know you want me to do radiation, but what should I change in my diet? And they're like, what? No, you don't have to change anything in your diet. They never make that connection. Like, there's something that my environment may have contributed to this. And so, Otto Warburg, who won a Nobel Prize in the, I think, 1950s, he said that cancer cannot survive in an acidic environment. Let me rephrase that. Cancer can't survive in an alkaline environment, okay? And it can't survive in the presence of oxygen, okay? And what he meant by the presence of oxygen is whenever you get cancer, your cells switch. They go from an oxygen recycling system to a fermentation recycling system, okay? And in fermentation, the cancer loves sugar, okay? Cancer loves sugar, so it makes you eat a lot of sugar, okay? And the other thing to understand about that, to confirm that thought, is a lot of times when people get a diagnosis for cancer, what will happen is they'll go in the doctor and they'll do what's called a PET scan. And when you do a PET scan, they take a cube of sugar and they radiate it so that they can track it in your body, and they inject it. And wherever the tissue in the body that consumes that sugar at 10 times the rate of normal tissue, that's how they know you have the cancer. That's how they know where the cancer is. So we know that, cancer loves sugar because of that test, the PET scan. Okay, here's how we also know, diet has an impact on cancer. We also know that because when you grab a lot of the things at the market, it will say this is carcinogenic, okay? Anytime something says that it's carcinogenic, it means that it could potentially cause cancer. And so if you go on the World Health Organization site, they list processed meats like deli meat, bacon, and things of that nature, processed foods, as a level 1 carcinogen in the same category with plutonium in cigarettes. So we know cigarettes cause cancer, and this is in the same category with cigarettes. So we know that that food causes cancer. And so that's sort of my big problem with the healthcare system, is that they don't teach us that. But it's very easy to go into just your common sense and make the connection and say, okay, if they say that this is a level 1 carcinogen, the governing body who says what is and what isn't carcinogenic, if they say that this food is carcinogenic, and then we also know that cancer is fed by sugar intake, then we know a lot of what is causing cancer. So you're on the right track by reading the book. Please pay close attention to the chapter I have on sugar, the bitter truth about sugar. So that'll be really good for you. How do I prepare my sea moss, and do you need any other ingredients? Yeah, so like, you can either do it one or two ways. You can dehydrate it and make it into a powder. So that's one way, and I do that to make my capsules. And then the other way is you can blend it. So you can soak it, then blend it. And you can blend it in with smoothies, so forth and so on, until it's a gel. So that's pretty much how I'm not really fancy with it at all. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask about what I do with my sea moss. I feel like I'm never going to get through these comments. So, green veggies for juices. Go on my page. I posted something. Alkaline green leafy vegetables. Those are the green leafy vegetables I use. So when I'm doing my juices or my green smoothies. So things like dandelion, arugula. Those are the primary green vegetables that I use. Kale. Yeah, so what you're going to see is a lot of people can't find those sea moss capsules because right now nothing is being imported. And again, like, sea moss comes from the coastal areas of the Atlantic. So not a lot is being imported right now. So that's why a lot of people are out of the capsules, they're out of the product. Yeah, Mahogany Fruitarian says she soaks her sea moss for 24 hours until it becomes gelatinous and then blend it. That's it. You don't have to heat it. Like, you don't have to boil it. I see a lot of people who boil their sea moss, but that's unnecessary. You don't have to do it. You just have to soak it for an extended period of time. The book title is Vegetation Over Medication. So for you guys who are not familiar, so Vegetation Over Medication is the book. And I'll try to type in here. There it is. So I pinned my website at the bottom here. The book does have a few recipes, not many, just to be honest. It's not on Audible. And I don't recommend taking the multi-mineral capsules all at once. I recommend spreading out through the day for the best results. Yes, you can reverse autoimmune diseases. Can steaming kill COVID-19? I'm not sure the question, Bivens Land. All right, so what I want to do for a second is the infamous Lewis. The trip was amazing, man. Let's see here. My main source of protein is going to be hemp, so I'll use hemp, chia seeds, and chickpeas. That's my main proteins that I use. Doctors tell you can't reverse autoimmune conditions because we're not taught anything that could actually lead to an actual cure for an immune condition. As a matter of fact, autoimmune conditions are essentially a syndrome, meaning, for lack of better words, we don't know what the hell it is. We don't know how to treat it because we treat every autoimmune condition the same way. We try to suppress the immune system and we try to remove inflammation. So we give you some steroids to suppress your immune system. And then we give you anti-inflammatories to take it down the inflammation. So that isn't a cure. What you want to do is balance the immune system. Figure out why the immune system has decided to start